West Coffee, and this is Masterclass Hamilton. And today I'm going to be talking about coffee. We do a lot of that here at True West, and want to talk about a couple things. I'll show you how to make a pour over, which is a particular type of drip coffee, and talk about coffee itself and the importance that we can play as consumers in how we purchase coffee and what the effect that has in the world beyond our country. First of all, this is our house coffee. It's La Harmonia Hermosa. It's from Guatemala, and we have a great partnership with our roaster, Deeper Roots. And our goal with Deeper Roots is to do a thing called direct trade. And what direct trade does is we create relationships with the farms, and through that, they get paid more for their work. If anyone knows anything about coffee, it's a lot of labor. It's picking fruit off of the plants, and in this case, on the side of a volcano, which makes really lush, great coffee. When we do direct trade, it enables the farms to improve their equipment, to make more coffee, to make better coffee, and ultimately, what we're seeing is these farmers in these villages start to come out of third world economic places. We're seeing girls get educated. We're seeing families get technology. We're seeing lots of awesome things. A quick story about that. We had a coffee from Burundi that was called Cup of Excellence, which is a great way that the coffee world elevates farms that are doing great things. Miami Hamilton had a group in from Africa on an exchange program, and one of the girls was from the village in Burundi where the coffee is farmed. And so I got to ask her, what impact did that have on her? And she's like, I'm here now because of it, because people bought that coffee and recognized the hard work we put into it. She goes, my mom drinks it every day, but I'm getting an education because the money is coming directly to the farm, not through a third person or through a broker. So that's the importance of what we do, and through that we're hoping to elevate the excellence of the coffee. So to get onto the pour-over coffee is single cup brewing, and I have some of the equipment here. This is a Hario V60. We use a scale and obviously our mug. I pre-wet the filter. That way, everything we add is just, all the water we add is going to go directly into the coffee and not get soaked up by the filter. And the flavor goes directly into your cup. We do a ratio of 28 grams of coffee to 375 grams of water, and hopefully it takes a couple minutes to brew. And I'm going to walk through quickly. Now, I ground this beforehand, but typically we want to grind the beans right before we brew. The flavor of coffee is captured inside through the oils and the gas, and so when you grind that, you're releasing that gas. And so what we want to do is get the freshest cup. We want to brew quickly after grinding. So basically what I do is zero up the scale here. Very simple process. I'm going to make sure I have the 28 grams, which is correct. Zero it out. Now all I'm going to be weighing from here on out is the water. We'll start just a slow drip over here. And what I like to say about my analogy for pour over is that pour over is like a conductor conducting an orchestra. If you imagine, your typical orchestra, if they didn't have a conductor, but everyone knew how to play and they started the music, everyone would be good, but maybe everyone's playing at the same level. And that's kind of what drip coffee is. You get all the great tasting notes, you get the flavor, but it's all kind of at the same level. When you have pour over, it's kind of like a conductor coming in. I'm going to bring the violins out. I'm going to bring these tasting notes out. And what you get is a less bitter, smoother cup of coffee where you can really taste the taste. And when I say tasting notes, this coffee, our house coffee, has got the tasting notes are black cherry, honey, and chocolate. And it's not like those flavors are put into the coffee. It's just what it reminds you of when it hits your tongue. It'll be reminiscent of that. And the more you drink coffee, and the better coffee you drink, the more of those things come out. The smoother the cup will be, especially if it's freshly ground. So what I did here is what's called the bloom, and that is when the first gases are released. And usually it's about 15-20 seconds, and you want to kind of let that breathe a little bit. You'll see actually the the coffee bubble up in the filter, and that is those first gases coming out. It happens when you do drip coffee. It happens when you do an espresso. The bloom is an important part. So now we're going to just keep adding. Typically, the bloom is twice the amount of what the coffee is, so that was like 60 grams. And I'm going to slowly add up to 375 grams. So pour over, while being a little more expensive as a drink, we think what it does is it highlights the hard work. We say as baristas, we're doing the last 1% of the work that in the whole route that coffee is taken. From the farmers who picked the fruit, dried the fruit off the bean, dried out the bean, and there's lots of processes for that, to the roaster roasting it, to us finally getting it, grinding it, making your coffee. We are just the last 1%. We really want to do a good job with that. We work hard to train and to make sure that we are doing that. But ultimately, the pour over, I think personally is the best. I know not everyone drinks black coffee. Not everyone likes drip coffee. They like lattes and espresso and everything. But I think the pour over is the best example. If you're going to a coffee shop, they have pour over to really taste what they're doing with their coffee, to understand how the roaster is handling it, things like that. It's a great example of how to, I think, experience coffee at its best. So we bring this up to 375, and then we just let it finish its filtering. I don't want to, if you're making this at home, you don't want to get too much water in there. It kind of will filter at the same rate. So if you put too much water in there, it's going to just sit, and it's going to kind of change the taste of that. Typically, when you do pour over a lot, you'll see the rate. You can even time it to be a 2 to 3 minute brew. If you have too much water sitting, it's kind of getting a little bit more of a oily flavor. Yeah. So we're up here to 375. It's going to finish brewing. But like I said, here at True West, we're trying to do our best to give you the story of what our farmers and our roasters are doing as we have coffee from around the world. And I think it's important to just think about, as we consume things, how we can impact the world around us. And obviously we can't always do that, but just coffee is a great little example of, if you think about how you're consuming, you can change a village. I know if you go on the Deeper Roots website, you can find the story of La Armonia Hermosa and the farm, and you can see who the farmers actually are and the things they're doing there. And we've been so appreciative of that partnership with Deeper Roots to educate us and to help us be better at what we do. And ultimately, I hope that when you come in, you can ask our baristas, you can taste it for yourself, but in everything we do, we're hoping that you just experience coffee in a better way, and ultimately we can kind of change the world with what we're doing. So stop in, try a cup, make a cup at home. You can buy our beans. We can go to either there at Jungle Gym, Whole Foods, and things like that as well. But ultimately, if you can give it a try, and maybe no milk in it or no cream, I don't know, be a little wild. But yeah, we can have a really good cup of coffee, and we can experience a little bit of the world around us. Thanks so much.